So here's it. If you set goals on January 1st and abandon them by February, you definitely are not alone. Let's be brutally honest. Some things you tried in 2025 did not work. Some goals crashed and burnt just very quickly. Some promises you made to yourselves were never fulfilled. And if you do not take the time to actually evaluate what went wrong and why, you're going to repeat the exact same pattern in 2026. Today, we're doing a real reset, not a motivational speech, but an actual strategy and proper evaluation so that 2026 is actually different from 2025 and a much more better. Let's have a go at this. Hello, welcome to InspireAbility, where we tackle real life challenges with practical strategies that work even when life is complicated, and I mean very complicated. I am Ruby, and whether you're managing chronic conditions, disabilities, or just trying to build a life that actually functions, this is the channel for you. Today we're talking about something most people skip: the strategic reset. Now it's a new year, a new us, a new me. We're not talking fluff, we're talking reality, practicality, actual evaluation of what worked, what didn't, and what needs to fundamentally change so that we don't have a repeat of the mistakes of 2025. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, turn on the notification bell, and let's dive into honest work that will make real change possible in this new year. So why do most new year attempted changes fail? Let's start with a statistic that shows us reality and will probably wake you up. Yes. So it shows, due research, years of research have shown that 80% of new resolutions fail. Guess when? By February. 80% fail by February. Not March, not April. Right in the second month of the year. That means that by Valentine's Day, most people have completely abandoned the goals they set with so much enthusiasm just 6 weeks before then. Wow. So why does this happen? Reason number one is no evaluation happened. People jump from December 31st to January 1st without stopping to ask, what actually went wrong last year? Why did my goal fail? What obstacles consistently derailed me? They just set new goals without addressing the old problems, and they expect a different result. The second reason is goals are based on inspiration, not strategy. January feels like quite magical. It feels like a new beginning, so people just go for it. You're motivated, you're inspired, you set ambitious goals. But by January 15th, your motivation is gone, you're worn out. And if your goals dependent on feeling inspired, feeling motivated, then they're dead. January 15th, all done and dusted. You can't go carry on with your goals. The third reason is no system for accountability or measurement. I want to be healthier isn't a goal, it's a wish. There's nothing to measure, there's no accountability, no clear action steps. So you never realize those wishes. The fourth reason is life doesn't magically become easier on January the 1st. This is actually laughable. But if you have chronic condition, it's still there on the 1st of January. It is, isn't it? It's quite simple, but we kind of forget it when we're making New Year resolutions. If you're dealing with limited energy, that doesn't change by the 1st of January. If you're grieving, January 1st does not erase that. People set goals as if their limitations disappear at midnight on New Year's Eve. It's interesting, but we do act like we believe that's what happens. So here's what we're going to do differently this year. We're going to start every process of goal setting with evaluation. We're going to do honest, very painful sometimes, but absolute necessary evaluation, because you cannot reset what you haven't reviewed. You need to review before you can press the reset button. The honest evaluation process. Now let's talk about it. So I need you to get a notebook. I seriously need you to pause this video, grab something to write with, and come back. So this one would work if you work at it. So let's do it together. We are going to be quite strategic, and we're going to do very strategic evaluation across 5 key areas of life. I need you to be brutally honest. I need you to face the facts, not sentiments. No one has to see this except yourself, so you don't need to falsify anything. Be brutally honest with everything you note down. And we're going to be evaluating 5 areas, like I said: health and energy management, relationships and social support, productivity and achievement, personal growth and learning, emotional well-being. I need you to note these 5 areas because we're going to be working on them: health and energy management, relationship and social support, productivity and achievement, personal growth and learning, emotional well-being. For each area, you're going to answer 3 questions very honestly. Question 1: what worked in each of those areas? What did you do in 2025 that actually worked? What strategies, what habits, what approaches gave you positive results? I need you to be specific. Something along the lines of "I felt better sometimes" isn't helpful. I want you to think deeply and do something along the lines of, "When I did gentle stretching 3 mornings a week, my pain level dropped and I had more energy." That is more helpful response, and those are the type of things I need you to note down. An example is working 90 minutes focus blocks instead of 8-hour days reduced my fatigue. That is helpful. That online support group, you could write the name down, gave me genuine connection without physical demands. That is a helpful response. Meal prepping on Sundays meant I actually ate nutritious food when I was too tired or too fatigued to cook. That's also a very good one to write. Write down everything, I mean everything that works, even small things that you think are insignificant. I want everything down on paper. These are strategies that you want to keep and potentially expand in 2026, and we don't want to lose any of them, big or small. Question 2 is what didn't work. This is very equally as important. This is where you have to get real, very factual. What did you try that failed? Be honest, please. What goals did you abandon? What strategy consistently didn't deliver results? And here's the crucial part: why didn't it work? So it's not just the what didn't work. Why did it not work? I don't surface level answers like "I wasn't motivated." I want you to dig deeper into reasoning. I set a goal to exercise 5 days a week, but I didn't account for my pain flares. So the goal was unrealistic. My body could not cope with it. That's a better answer. And those are the type of things I want you to write. I tried to maintain the same social calendar as my able-bodied friends, which consistently exhausted me and caused setbacks. That's a good one you can use as well. I said I'll learn a new skill, but I never scheduled time for it, so it never happened. That's another way of going about it. Do you notice the difference now? Because we're not just listing failures, we're identifying what didn't work and why did they fail. Because if you don't understand why something didn't work, you will either try the exact same thing again and fail again, or you avoid trying anything similar, even if just a bit of modification would actually make it work. So we are doing this very carefully so that we identify what exactly did not work, why they didn't work, if we need to abandon them or modify them for better results. Question 3: what needs to change? This is as important as question 1 and question 2. Based on what worked and what didn't work in 2025, what do we need to fundamentally change in 2026? This isn't about setting goals yet. We're not there yet. It's about identifying necessary shifts in maybe your approach, your expectations, the systems you use, your environment, the support structure. So those are the type of things we need to flesh out from your answers. Then we'll be able to know what should work for 2026. An example is I need to stop comparing my productivity to my able-bodied friends. My good days look different, and that's okay. So those are good examples. I need to build rest into my schedule instead of treating it as failure. That's another good example. I need better pain management strategies instead of just pushing through. I need to let go of relationships that drain me and invest in ones that energize me. That's equally good. I need to stop overcommitting and learn to say no without guilt. A lot of us fall foul of this. We need to learn how to say no. So I need you to write all of this down for each of the 5 areas. Yes, I agree. It takes time. Yes, it can be uncomfortable, especially if you are trying to be brutally honest with yourself. But it is the work that makes real change positive and possible. If you're going to get changes in 2026, then let's work this together. Let me walk you through one area completely as an example so that you know what we're trying to achieve here. I use the example somebody I'm trying to coach and mentor give me on health and energy management. What works in 2025? The first thing was tracking my energy patterns helped me identify my best productivity hours. And what she identified was 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. were her best hours because she was able to track them, so she knew. Using a mobility aid on days that were bad meant that she could cope to do necessary tasks. So she could still do things because she used aids to achieve those results, and that worked for her. Getting 8 hours of sleep consistently reduced her pain flare-up. That worked for her as well. It might not be the same for you. Working with occupational therapists gave her the practical adaptation she needed. That was brilliant. Those were the things that worked for her. What didn't work in 2025? I'm using that because it was last year. Trying to push through pain made everything worse and caused crashes. Comparing my ability to pre-disabled me created depression and frustration, and every one of us, most of us can relate to this. Skipping medication to prove I'm not dependent led to worse symptoms. Not asking for help until I was desperate meant I burnt out repeatedly. Those were the things she gave for what didn't work. Then what needs to change in the new year? She said, I need to accept that pacing is not laziness, it's smart management. I need to use adaptive tools without shame because they enable me to function. I need to schedule rest proactively instead of reactively. That is crucial for a lot of us with disabilities and chronic conditions. I need to build a support system before I'm in crisis, not during. Another crucial bit. See how specific that is. So I was able to walk her through this when we came together, went through this, and it worked because we were able to get meaningful answers that will help us make positive changes in the new year. And that's what I'm aiming for you to achieve. Now, do this for the other 4 areas: the relationship, the productivity, the personal growth, and emotional well-being. I need you to sit down and flesh through those 3 questions. So, what happens from evaluation to strategic reset? Okay, so now I hope you've done the work with your evaluation and you have your answers to those 3 questions. You've identified what worked, what didn't, and what needs to change. Now, what is next? Now we'll create a strategic reset plan. Not vague, not fluffy resolutions. No, we're hoping that this year is better and an actual plan will help us achieve that. The first step is identify your non-negotiables. It's called non-negotiable because we cannot compromise on these things. I want you to look at your evaluation, and based on it, I want you to write 3 to 5 things that must change for 2026 for it to be far better than 2025. These are your non-negotiables, the things that if you don't address them, everything else will fail. Everything else will just not work. So those are your non-negotiables. Examples are: I must establish consistent sleep schedule. because everything else falls apart without it. Some people, without their 8 hours sleep, they can't function for the next few days. I must set boundaries with energy draining people. I guess we have a few of those in all of our lives. I must accept help with household tasks so that I can have energy for work. I must find pain management strategies that will actually work for me. So I need you to write down the 3 to 5 non-negotiables. These will become your priority for 2026. They'll become your focal things that nothing pulls you away from them. You cannot compromise on them for 2026. You have 3 to 5 non-negotiables. Then once that is done, I want us to go to step 2, where we build systems, not just goals. Now, I would say goals are things like I want to exercise more, but systems would read something like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. I do 15 minutes of chair yoga or lifting exercise or weightlifting. I've preloaded videos on my tablet. I've set phone reminders. If I miss one session, I won't skip the next. I just resume the pattern. That is not system. Can you see the difference? Have you noted the difference from what goals are from what systems will be? Goals are destinations, while systems are the vehicles that get you there. If the system crashes, you probably will not get to your destination. We need the system to work for us to get the goals achieved. So for each of the non-negotiables, I want you to create a system. Now listen to this carefully. What specific actions will you take? When will you take them? What obstacles might arise and how will you address them? What accountability do you need? And how would you measure progress? I want you to do this for each of those. The next thing after we've done step 2 is create realistic checkpoints. That's our step 3. I do not want you to wait until December 2026 to evaluate how things are going. It will be too late then, because it's the end of the year. Set monthly check-ins. On the first day of each month, I want you to sit back, review what worked last month, adjust what didn't, recommit to your non-negotiables. Write them in front of declarations if you need to, so that you remind yourself consistently of them. I want you to also do something for me. Celebrate progress, even small wins. Be glad about them, pat yourself on the back for them, celebrate them. They're worth celebrating. Progress is not linear. Some months will be better than others, and you need to remember that. Some weeks your health will crash or your life will throw something peculiar, will just not go the way it's planned. Life always throws curveballs, so let's be ready to adapt when we need to. Remember that this is not failure, it's just life. Life does that, and we have to accept that and build it into our system. We need to build a system that counts for when life throws those curveballs and how we can rebound from them to keep going. That does not mean that you have to abandon your plan when you have a bad week. You just pause, rest, and resume when you can. It's better to resume when you can than just completely let go of the project just 2 or 3 months down the line. The first step is release what's not serving you. Based on your evaluation, what do you need to stop doing? Is it toxic relationships that drain you? Is it commitments that no longer align with your reality? Expectations that set you up for failure? Trust me, when I got onto this disability journey, I had so many of those, and it was crucially demanding, even mentally demanding to meet those expectations, let alone physically. Comparison that crush your spirit, that is important as well. Comparing yourself to your old self or comparing yourself to somebody else, it doesn't always pay to do that. Habits that sabotage your progress. I want you to know that you have permission to let go of anything that's not served you and that will not serve you in future. You don't have to keep doing things just because you always have done them. Step away from them if they're not going to serve your purpose. You don't have to maintain relationships that harm you, that hurt you, to step away from them. You don't have to meet expectations that were set before your circumstances changed. You have changed. Things are changing about you probably on a day-to-day basis as you get to know your new self. So please, you're not obliged to meet those old expectations. Step away from them and be free. No guilt doing that. Release what's not serving you. Make space for what will serve you and make you become who you need to be. Now, we want to do some very crucial bit. We need to shift some mindset. We need this if we're going to progress in 2026. Yes, the mindset shift will make the whole process work as effectively as it can. A reset is not a rejection of who you were, it's an honest acknowledgement of who you are now and what you need moving forward. No, it's not, no, I'm this downgraded, lesser person. No, it's acknowledging this is me now and this is what I need to become who I ought to be, my new self. You're not resetting because you're a failure. You're resetting because you are smart enough to recognize when things aren't working and brave enough to change them. If they're not working, you bin them and you're brave and courageous enough to make those changes. That's what reset means. You're not starting over from scratch. You're building on what you've learned, knowing what works and strategically adjusting to what didn't, which is great, isn't it? 2026 doesn't have to be a repeat of 2025, and it wouldn't be different by accident. It will be different because you did hard work of one, evaluating, making strategic changes and committing to systems that support your actual life, your real life, not the wished for one, not the life somebody else is projecting at you, but your reality. And I can tell you, you've got this. The reset starts now, not with vague hopes, but with specific, strategic, actionable changes. And I'm going to be here every week giving you the tools, the strategies, and the encouragement you need to make this happen. So let's begin this journey in this new year together. All right. So here's your assignment. Do the evaluation. Please actually do it. Don't just watch this video and move on or say I'll do it later. Don't procrastinate on it. Get onto it. Do it immediately. And when you've done it, drop comments and let me know one of your non-negotiables that you've identified, what must change in 2026 and how you're going to do things differently. Let's keep ourselves accountable. Let's communicate. Let's keep the fire going, because we can achieve a better 2026 if we stay together and work this together. If this video gave you a framework you can actually use, I want you to hit that button. Share it with someone who needs a real life reset strategy, not just motivational fluffy fluff or motivational speech. I won't get them anywhere. Subscribe even if you haven't already done so. Turn on the notifications, because we're going to deep into practical strategy all year long. Yes, we have strategies that can work regardless of what your circumstances are. We can live well and fruitful if we work together with strategies that have been proven and tested to work. Another thing is, I have some freebies for you. I have an evaluation template that you can walk through systematically. That will be in the description from next week. So look at the description for this video and for the one from next week, because I will make that available to you. Listen, you don't have to repeat 2025. Let's make 2026 genuinely different. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, strategic reset leads to real results. Do the work, be honest, make the changes. You will see the results and you'll be so glad you did. I am Ruby. This is InspireAbility. We're not just adapting, we're thriving. See you next time. This is a space where it's okay to be uniquely you. So remember that and keep living well. Take care and bye for now. Bye.